I can't think of really how to describe how difficult and how much of a constant struggle.
Mental health and mental illnesses are kind of a very difficult thing for people to want to talk about because there's such little public education about it, and that just leads to a lot of misinformation, and it's just really hard for people to understand what other people are going through without actually experiencing it for themselves.
I don't think you can ever really understand how it feels unless you've experienced it.
And one of the most, I think, important things that I've learned is, although it's not really presented that way, there's a very important distinction to make kind of between mental health and mental illnesses.
Mental health is, straightforward, but mental health is what I have when I'm not depressed.
It's an important distinction, but it is kind of a difficult one to make unless you really know what you're talking about, because the people who have like a diagnosed mental illness, such as depression or something like that, may never like really suffer that much with their mental health or their well-being.
I still think that life is worthwhile, and every little bit of positive action you take is, it matters, it makes a difference.
But then the people who will never have a mental illness, never have anything diagnosable, may routinely suffer with their mental health or their well-being. And all of those things are kind of lumped into one big ball, despite the fact that, the treatment and the way to deal with that is very, very different.
So my first experience, like I said, I was already 41, but I was completely floored by the experience.
It's really difficult to motivate people to reach out and take that first step on their own of kind of admitting they need help or, asking other people. And it's because, everyone's situation is different.
I think there's a stigma, and I actually know there's a stigma behind any sort of going to the counselors, getting help, anything like that, because people see it as, you only go if you absolutely need it.
One of the problems is that your brain is telling you at every moment that you're depressed that there is no help, that the world is an awful place and there's no fixing it, and there's no point in getting help because there's no help to be had.
In the end, so much of the reluctancy to kind of want to go out and put yourself out there is just, as humans, we're so afraid to want to admit any kind of weakness.
It took me a really long time before I could even go to the pharmacy to get my prescription refilled without feeling embarrassed.
In the end, the only way to really make progress is be open and honest about, your reality and the reality of others, and really just trust in yourself and in the people around you, and believe that things really can get better, and the people around you are here to help you get there.
There's a lot of reasons why people don't get help, and I think it's great, like you said in your introduction, that the more people share their experience, the more people can see that all different kinds of people end up having mental health problems and diagnoses, and it's not just a certain kind of person that it affects.
In reality, we can all use some help. We can all use someone to talk to, and a professional at that. Any time you're overwhelmed, that's a good reason to talk it out.
That's what I wanted. I wanted somebody to remind me that this had happened to me before, and I had been certain life would never be good again, and yet it was.
I know it's really nerve-wracking to open up about things, but I think when you have a person, for me, I have friends who I can really talk to about deep things, and what stems from that is, okay, well, now I can talk about it openly, and I can go to the counselor's office and talk to them.
It's such a difficult thing to deal with because you can't, just point out the problem like you can with, a broken leg or a fever and, start fixing it right away.
Because it's not physically manifested, like in your appearance. You can look like a normal person even though you can't function.
Just acknowledging and treating a mental illness or mental health problems from beginning to end can be a really long process, and it requires so much strength from everyone involved.
When you're depressed, you don't feel like you're living strong, even though just getting through the day really should be looked at as an accomplishment.
I think it's important to do exactly what it says, live strong. Like, live to the best of your abilities and to all your strengths, because everyone has strengths. You know, people may joke like, oh, what are your strengths? You know, what are your weaknesses? But in reality, we all have our strengths, and we should live up to those strengths, whatever that may be.
I don't think you can live strong by yourself. The strongest thing you can do is to ask for help and to let other people carry you.
Living strong is just such a good advice for everyone, a good life motto, I think, so you can actually live to your fullest.
To me, Livestrong is a message of unity, a promise to live strongly for yourself through the toughest times in your life, and then a promise from others to be that symbol of strength for the people that need it.
So live strong isn't a personal thing to me, it's a community thing of carrying each other when others don't have the strength to carry themselves.